Game number 1, Tomb of the Spider Queen. We're still in the losers bracket, and now we are in the losers bracket final. Let's go. We had a crazy day, honestly. Absolutely nuts. Team Sigma Males has been on a tear in the lower bracket. It was crazy. The first series that they played was a clean 2-0 where they absolutely speedran their opponents. Then in the second series, it got a bit trickier for them. They were able to pull out a victory after all, but it got dicey. First of all, losing the second map was just absolutely nuts. What happened there is just bonkers. And then in game number 3, it didn't really look all too great, but they somehow pulled it off, and now they advanced to their third game, their third match of the day, going up against Nakineva on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And we are in an interesting situation again. Now again, we have one draft rule. Heroes that are played, have been played in a game within the series cannot be played again. But also, whoever loses here takes third place. That's a given. Whoever wins moves on to the grand final into the best of 5 series. And in addition is already guaranteed prize money, because the prize money that is put into the tournament is split between the teams. Prize money for this is also put up by me. So guys, again, if you like to support more tournaments like this in the future and just tournaments in general, I mean, we've been hosting now for the last 6-7 years, event after event, and all of this was only possible with support too. So you can support the channel and also all those esports efforts at patreon.com/Khaldor. If you watch this on YouTube right now, there's a link in the description that you can click. And a big shout out again to everybody that already supports all of this. As I said before, we've now ran tournament after tournament, and we had a lot of supporters, some private sponsors even that came in and said like, hey, I would like to help the community out. I would like to host an event for the Heroes community. But a lot of these things have solely been able to be pulled off by you supporting it. So a big shout out to all the Patreon supporters. And again, if you are thinking about supporting the channel, it's very much appreciated, and you can best do it there. In the series, we also work on this tournament series. We're also working together with HeroesLounge, so this tournament is dedicated specifically towards teams that are operating in Division 4 and 5 of HeroesLounge. And that is the low end of it. So we had our first Underdog Cup, which catered towards Division 2 and Division 3 teams. And now we thought, hey, we're going to make a small tournament, just a week long, and we're going for the low-level teams. The whole idea is to really just support the grassroots, get some teams out there that might have not been able to play in any tournaments in the future, and they can just dip their toe in the water a bit. But it's also just kind of nice to see what's happening in those areas. Now, generally speaking, when you're looking at the normal level of play, it's usually around gold. We had some bronze players, some silver players, the occasional plat player, sometimes even a low diamond player. But the coordination between teams is actually pretty cool. You're still playing on a level here where people talk to each other, try to find strategies together, and then attempt to coordinate them throughout all of it. So it's kind of wild. If you compare this to what's happening in Hero League or in Quick Match, it's just on a completely different level, because these people play together routinely and talk to each other too, so strategies all of a sudden come out, and it's just so awesome to see that happening here as well. But of course, hero pools are a little bit smaller, and that means as we're progressing through the series, this has more of an impact that heroes are unavailable. We have over on the left side Gul'dan and Johanna taken. It's Tomb of the Spider Queen after all, so what Nakineva is trying to do here is get a lot of wave clear out right away. Jojo is in, we got on top of that also Gul'dan. Then on the right side, Sigma Males with Jacqueline on Vala. We get Mal'Ganis Blaze. It's a pretty beefy front line to break through too, of course. So a tough draft to drop. But we'll see, especially later in the series, how the teams are reacting. Now, I've been a big fan of what the red team has been doing today so far. It was awesome to see how they just came in fully prepared, had strategies ready, and also draft strategies, bans ready against opponents. Nakineva, I feel, is a bit on a different level. I think these guys had such a fantastic time in the winner bracket that they are already a bit of a mini-boss for Sigma Males now. And of course, they also want to have their revenge. They want to go back into the grand final and have a rematch there. We'll see if they can pull that off or not. But for now, I have to say that draft is looking solid. With Gul'dan and Jojo in, you have your wave clear already sorted out. You have Anduin. Jojo also fantastic when it comes to interrupts around gem turn-ins with her shield clear. Leo for the side lane. We're getting him. Leo normally has also a skin on the janitor. This is a Finnish team. Nakineva is a Finnish team, and their Leo is all decked out in basically an ice giant skin. and I absolutely love it. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm not sure if that is intentional, but I have to assume it is. So they are definitely showing some Finnish pride here. Oriel for the red team, and then the final pick after Oriel we get Tacita. So it's also a pretty solid one. Sigma males have been playing Tacita a lot. By now, of course, most people are pretty familiar with their pick patterns, but that doesn't mean that you can ban everything out. So you're getting rid of a few of them, but Tacita still makes it through the draft. And we're now getting ready for game number 1 in the best of 3. Nakineve going up against Sigma males. And our final pick, we need a little bit more damage. Snack is coming in with Hanzo. To the Spider Queen, everybody. Map number 1. Let's go. The losers bracket final, game number 1 on the left in blue. Hailing from the frosty north, we have Nakineve with Autorox on Johanna. Slithery Snack is playing Hanzo. TT on Gul'dan going into Echoed Corruption. Waiting, of course, for that Ruinous Affliction combo that we're going to get very likely later. We have Laser Mehu on Anduin. And then, last but not least, Simba is playing Leoric for the team. On the right side of the map in red, Hermit on Oriel, Lizzie Ryan on Tacita. For Sigma males, we got Moondog on Mal'Ganis, Jacqueline with an auto attack Vala, and Anafas is playing Blaze. So, who takes it? Who's able to proceed to the grand final, and who will end up 3rd place in the tournament? Side laners already pushing towards the bottom of the map. Actually, Blaze trying to wrap around to see if he can get a stun connected. Not so much, but also those continuous walls from Tacita. They have been a huge problem for other teams. A lot of teams had problems going up against these Tacita walls in the isolation plays that were executed by Sigma males. And we will find out if Nakineve can break through that, or if they're going to struggle against this as well. Now, since this is the 3rd series for Sigma males, they're definitely warmed up. They are in the flow right now. They will at the same time also at some point get a little bit tired there. Just imagine them going up to the grand final and then also playing a best of 5 series. Now on the one hand, there's obviously always a little bit of a break possible for them during matches, but then again, you find yourself in a spot where you just have to power through. That is the problem when you're dropping down into the lower bracket. By now, what we're getting is a kill against Anduin. So Anduin has been dropped. He is killed. And while Anduin is gone, we have another push against Leo. He is able to make it. So Leo still able to survive here. He's back down at the bottom of the map now, locked into that 1v1. But a first blood already for Sigma males, some solid early game damage. And in addition to that, of course, now also the tools to maybe pull a bit further ahead, since they're going for the camp over on the right side. We have 19 stacks for Vala, so they're starting to get some stacks in too for her, as long as she doesn't die and maintains that attack speed. That is all going to be beneficial, especially when she locks in Manticore as an added tool later on in the game. Gems are being collected. Haven't really been turned in yet. And Vala goes for Arsenal. Okay. No Death Dealer. Either we have a misclick here. I haven't seen that yet. And I haven't seen that yet either from Jacqueline. And I honestly assume that this is a misclick. Because Arsenal gives you a bit more wave clear, but this is not really worth going for, even in this context now. And we have had Jacqueline a lot with Death Dealer and really just bouncing through opponents time and time again. So if this is a choice, then I'm not quite sure if I'm a fan of that hybrid idea, but it might be a misclick. With an auto attack build, Death Dealer is usually the weapon of choice. So definitely something to monitor here and see if additional adjustments are being made, or if we're now just back to the normal auto attack build for her. So time will tell. Gems are obviously slowly being turned in. Each team is getting very, very close to getting the first turn in here for themselves. Hasn't happened yet, but will likely soon. Still, Mal'Ganis is trying to set up the next play for the team, and obviously also a kill. Yeah, none of that in yet, but that's soon going to happen one way or another, I suppose. just a matter of time, given how the teams have been playing so far in the tournament here. So, yeah. But by now, there are a couple of Siege Giants that teams are focusing on. Blue team has attempted to turn more of their gems in. They have now 33 delivered. They are technically holding enough to get the full turn in. But for that, Simba has to deliver his. And that's actually what's happening. And I think Moondog is going to be too late to interrupt that. So, yep. Blue Web Weavers are going to be descending first. Siege Giants are at least taken. Leo just goes out. The teams are both on level 7 now. But this is where we have the first objective. And with that, we're of course going to figure out and find out who is or how far ahead they can pull with some structure attacks, which they are definitely going to go for. And right now, the first thing that we're going to get is a bit of action at the top, where Beavers are slowly coming into play. Leo has nobody on the bot lane that is dealing with him as we speak. So there will be a rotation, I assume, from Blaze, who's already on the way. So Anafas is now moving slowly down. But Leo has parked that Web Weaver at the wall, and that's already some significant damage done. So Blaze is definitely late to the party. The defense in the middle of the map was a good one, though. But the Web Weaver at the top is now damaging the fort itself. So they're getting value here. They are absolutely getting value here. That's a lot of lanes that have not only lost the towers and the gate, but also now started to take damage on the actual fort itself. At the bot lane, not quite as much as I actually thought. So he's doing better with the defense as I initially expected. But at the top, that Web Weaver has done some work. Still a single kill in this game. Still only one single kill in the game so far. Not more than that. So one kill, but they are hoping to change that with the attack against Jojo here. Jojo though, she's trying to prep the kill also against Oriel, but she's still fine. Now, for Gul'dan, this was actually pretty sweet because he already has a lot of stacks together now on his level 1. This entire interplay here has worked nicely for him. Not so much for Johanna, who now gets killed. So Jojo down. That's pretty unfortunate for her. That is now, I believe, the second time that she has fallen. And this gives more of an experience lead to Sigma Male. Guys, it's actually insane. This team is really about to make an entire... Well, it's possible for that team to make an absolute mad full run through the lower bracket. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy. If you would have asked me the team that started this far out from the grand final or the losers bracket final, if they would have a chance of making it, I would have called you probably crazy, but they are just doing what they can here, and it's looking better by the second. Now that they have level 10 abilities, they can try to enhance that push a bit through those Web Weavers, and they are already breaking through the bot lane, and there are very few that are trying to stop this. Jojo is one of them. She gets trapped immediately. The entire team turns on her, and she dies once more. She's dead again. Anduin was not able to save her, and this bottom fort is going to fall. So the bottom fort is going to get destroyed, and they're going to lose more. In the middle, Gul'dan, he defended, but now they're even trying to go for some additional kills here, as they're slowly making their way over. At the top side, we're having Blaze being pushed back, so Hanzo has been able to defend. But still, this is the... I mean, again, 3 kills to 0. First fort destroyed. They are just doing incredibly well in this tournament. It's wild to me. It's honestly wild. They look like a completely different team from what I've seen in the first few days. So, Sigma Males, definitely in a good spot. You should not count out Nakimin though. This team has been doing extremely well in the winner bracket. I talked about this in the draft already. So, yeah, I would definitely not count them out yet. These guys are a little bit too good to just simply being shrugged off like this. But now Hanzo is dead. They're trying to get another kill here. Kill number 4 is already in. Ults are out, and that of course makes all of this just so much more spicy. It went a bit too deep though, and Oriel falls. So Oriel is down. Mistakes are being punished here. And with Oriel gone, Mal'Ganis is also just barely able to escape, but he re-engages again for a second. Oriel with Resurrect is back in play. Can they now win this? Oriel, Resurrect, and yep, they're doing some work, but they're not able to lock an additional kill in. But the team is attempting to turn in again. Both of them have enough gems to get a second turn in. So both of them can technically get more web weavers here. But the red team has not only done more damage to the fort in the middle of the map, but they're also about to get their level 13 talents, so another advantage that they could use with the next push. And they're dropping the fort in the middle before the blue team is even ready to defend. The web weavers are coming down, and yeah, it's just getting dicey here. It's really getting difficult. Vala doesn't have a whole lot of stacks. She's at 65. That's nothing crazy. We're 9 minutes in now. But then at the same time, of course, she has also not died yet. So she will have that attack speed advantage. Gul'dan is the only one really on the blue team that's benefiting thanks to all of the stacks that he gets. But they push him back in, and that's a double kill. Anduin kind of killed him here. I think he might have been able to walk out at the bottom of the map. Now Johanna dies too. They're absolutely crushing it. The heal is in. Pulling Gul'dan back in that situation didn't do him any favors. He was trying to run away here, and then he gets pulled back into the fight. Anduin, that little shit, just dropped him. That's the alliance, you know? They're just backstabbing little bitches. It is pretty sad. There's like no manly facing the opponent or anything, declaring war, whatever. No, they're sneaky. The alliance is just sneaky. It's a little bit icky and yucky, but that's what they do. And he just did it there. He backstabbed Gul'dan, who wanted to look for a proper fight. But yeah, this is why you go. This is why you go Horde. I never played World of Warcraft. I'm not wasting my time here. South Park has already said I have a life, or at least I try to. But if I would, Horde is the only option. It's the only real option, and we all know it. So yeah, that's a betrayal, and I don't stand for this. No, I can't endorse this. Anduin, you've shown your real colors here, as usual. 8 kills to 1. Now the forts are all gone. The blue team has lost all of the forts, but Nakivin, they won the kill, and they're now getting Vala. Vala is already dead. She could get resurrected, I guess. Auriel does exactly that. But you also have to be careful that she doesn't get killed again. But she's totally fine here. In comes the oh, the play against Gul'dan. How is Mal'Ganis still alive? There we go. Gul'dan comes in and just drops him. He's like, Dreadlord, and nope. But he gets the whip. Gul'dan was always a little bit kinky. And so, while Auriel whips him hard, he gets killed. 10 kills to 6. Yeah, despite that little setback with Vala dying and losing some of their auto attack speed, we still have, I don't know, we still have the red team in the driver's seat. They are making the plays here, they're making the big moves, and now they could possibly also go for the boss. It's already getting pinged. They're removing the walls too, so that there's no additional information being brought to the blue team. But I am still just absolutely blown away by how this tournament has shaped up now. And I honestly think that the teams waiting in the grand final, or the team waiting in the grand final, is also looking at this, and they might be a bit surprised too. Now, they have the chance to get all the information on Sigma males now, but I assume they didn't really have the red team on their list of potential opponents either. Wall is out again. Oh, but big ult! Woo! That was sexy! It's a triple kill! Hanzo, ladies and gentlemen. They blocked them off completely, but Hanzo with a huge play here, and they're even getting a 4th kill. That was massive. And Auriel can't even resurrect them over here. I mean, she could, but it wouldn't go all too well. So, that was insane. Beautiful Dragon Strike. And now the boss is being attacked. That Dragon Strike was absolute fire. And now, we'll see. Can they bring this game back? Are they already too far behind? There is a keep at the bot lane that got already destroyed. Massive amount of catapults in there. So the keep gone. And I guess with Web Weavers and boss they still have a chance, but there's a lot of structures that they have to destroy. Every fort is still in play for the team in red. So they're starting to lose some. But that's a lot of stuff that you gotta barrel through if you really want to have a chance of winning this one. At the top, the defense is now slowly ready. Blaze, interesting positioning, has to bunker up as a result. The side lane is open up, but the Horrify doesn't properly connect, so they're not getting pushed into the team so that they can get killed, but back to safety instead. Yeah, that looked dangerous for a second. Light bomb engage! Jojo! What a massive play again. Holy crap. I mean, damn. Check this one out. That one was massive. Look at that play. Light bomb engage after the blessed shield and big ult again.
Holy shit.
Huge! And now Nakivin, apparently they're just done. They're just like, well, you had some fun, but we're just kidding because now we're going to absolutely destroy you. We're going to murder you. We're going to murder your entire family. We're going to kill everybody that ever knew you. Everybody that knows you existed. Your friends, your families, your pets. You are ours. At least they're trying. 75% on the core. Mal'Ganis is dead. This isn't over yet. Leo goes out. Hanzo is apparently still trying to have some fun here, but it's now 11 kills to 11. Woof! What is going on in this series? Sigma Male today is just a grant of having incredible games. That's what's going on. That's what's happening here. So, yeah, one big play after another. Still some damage against the fort at the top lane. So the next one to get attacked here and possibly dropped. But the teams are going for their camps. We have 51,000 damage for Gul'dan. Honestly, with all of the kills that Hanzo just got recently, it surprises me that he's not the top damage dealer for them. Tazadan, 57,000. And this is getting clutch. Each team has lost a keep. One fort is still standing. But it is the last one. And yeah, they're all trying to go for the next turn in, I suppose. So one more turn in, possibly, for specifically the... Actually, they're both pretty close. Well, they're pretty close together in the sense that they're having the same amount, but they're not close to another turn in. They're slowly getting there. I suppose it's going to be Sigma Males that has the chance to get the next one. They have a few more gems than their opponents, but yeah, nobody's really there. But now level 20 talents are also ready, and level 20 talents are actually an interesting touch because Hanzo already got massive amounts of damage out of his ult. Now he has the cooldown reduction on it, thanks to the Dragon Awakens, and that's a really big talent for him. That's a huge upgrade. Bala with the range increase. Again, light bomb engage. They are hitting 3 every single time, and there comes the ult. Oriel barely alive. And of course there is oh, she's dead too. Is resurrecting herself and might just die again. Gets out, okay, thanks to the level 20 upgrade here, but it's still a 5 versus 4. They're coming back into the battle. Oriel is gone again. The bunker, they're trying to drop it to. Nakivin is all of a sudden on an absolute warpath. They are crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Huge plays by the blue team. It really looked like they would lose the game, but then the big moves made. And now we're having the play throughout the middle as they're trying to take another keep down. Blaze at the bottom of the map going for the siege giants. We have also some catapults that are moving on the left. And we are 17 minutes in, so somebody should deal with this. But there is a turn-in available for them right now. Boss at the top is up in 40 seconds. Doesn't help them at this point. But there's also still a bit of action over here in the middle. So, down at the bottom of the map, the catapults, as I already said, this is a problem. This needs to be dealt with. And they are now starting to come in. But it doesn't change the fact that their core is losing hit points. And that was avoidable, for sure. 65%. 59% on the core. That wasn't necessary. That was mega telegraphed, but nobody dealt with it. This might play a role later. So now we have 59% against 75% on the core. The Web Weaver at the top is about to be taken out. Very quickly burned down. So, yep, this does nothing. And now in the middle of the map, we are still seeing the push for another keep. So, while Nakivin is having much, much better fights now, and is having some pretty solid plays, I also have to say that there are quite a few moments where it seems that they just can't exploit advantages whenever they have them. That's the unfortunate news. I mean, look at this. What did that wave actually accomplish? They lost points on the core. They pushed a couple of lanes down and gained a bit of map control with it, but they haven't taken a keep, and they weren't able to do anything big with it. So this is a big of an issue. If you are ahead and you're getting an objective here, you need to get something done. That Web Weaver at the bottom of the map is expiring, so that one's gone. Red team is still sitting at the top. I have no idea who's going to win this. Absolutely no clue. Who's taking this one? Everybody is just vying for position, trying to get into a good spot for the next fight. Vala still low on stacks, only 100, 19 minutes in. But when you look over at the damage, that gets reflected. She's barely ahead of Blaze here. But the single target damage can of course still help you to take a target down. And that's what it all comes down to. Are you able to burn the important next kill? Get the tank, for example, removed. Vala is also dealing with a blind from Jojo, so that there are some mitigating circumstances, I guess. But everybody's now trying to get ready. And the red team has the advantage that they have the gems for Eternity. They do. Oriel on 13 stacks now, by the way, on the Reservoir of Hope. Another hit against Johanna. Jojo had a tough time at the front. She died a few times already. But who's gonna be the next one to lose a hero, to get an objective? Maybe even go for that boss. We're now 20 minutes into the game. 20 minutes in. Top lane is getting pressured by catapults. Bot lane in a similar situation. They need to deal... This is actually a bit of a concern of mine right now. The blue team is not properly dealing with catapults at the bottom of the map. They have to eventually send somebody else down here, or they will have the same situation as before. And once catapults are starting to hit the core, now they are much, much stronger. So we are 20 minutes in. They hurt. And how many do we have already? That is 3 catapults down here as is. Somebody got to deal with this. Now, they're trying to turn in their own gems. Good for them. But either force the fight or send someone down to at least take the catapults out. You don't have to waste your time with the entire minion wave, but the catapults need to go. 14 kills to 11. Red team wants the turn in. It's the main reason why they're still sitting here. While they're still doing this right now. But yep, there's the kill. And the double kill. Oriel is going for the resurrect on herself. And is able to escape. Vala, though, in trouble. The Horrify pushed her back out. She's trying to get more damage in. But with Tacita gone, the main damage dealer has been removed. The catapults are now on the core. That is 3 catapults. Someone has to go back. Like, okay, Gul'dan heads back. Thank God. They were dangerously close to actually losing the minions here. 58%, they lose 1%. But now the next attack is already coming in. There could be a resurrect even if they want to have Tacita right on point. Hanzo's throwing another one out. It's still a 5 versus 4. Gul'dan is back. Can they get that follow-up kill? It doesn't seem likely. So, yeah, they're ghosting out for potential entomb, but they're not close enough. And Tacita is back in a second. There's the Blessed Shield. Nice. That could be the play. And it is. That's a kill on Vala. She's getting resurrected again. But Oriel. Yeah, Oriel gets away. Vala is also able to get back out. And Blaze is just trying to turn in, as it seems. He has 20 gems. And he is going to turn them in. Easy peasy. That will give them a full set of Web Weavers. And this bot lane is again in trouble. They need to head back, and it's Gul'dan once again that is trying to do it. So Gul'dan on his way back. Red team has to push the lanes out. 22 minutes into it. And we are off to the party. In the mid lane, very likely. Top side, catapults will take the Web Weaver out eventually. There's another wave already coming in, so this lane is not too much of a concern. It's not going to end up at the keep. It's really the mid lane that we're mainly talking about now. The mid lane that they have to be careful about. And they are going to be looking here. So mid lane is slowly getting pushed. Web Weaver is on the way. Level 23 for both of the teams. 23 minutes into the game. Defense at the bottom is already here, but what can they do in the middle of the map? Gul'dan, he needs to absolutely drop his abilities right now. Get that Ruinous Affliction in. That keep is taking damage. Gul'dan, he is the top siege damage dealer in this game. Ruinous Affliction is in. Core, Web Weavers are ready. Gul'dan is everywhere. Is trying to get the AoE out wherever he can. But they keep in the mid lane. Still under siege. The red team moving in. They want this. Can they get it? And yes, they can. Blessed Shield on Oriel. She should die, but she doesn't. Oh, maybe she does. Big ult from Hanzo again. And Oriel is gone. Oriel is gone. Resurrects herself. Tacita is also eliminated though. Oriel is just resurrecting everybody left, right, and center. But they lost Tacita. That's the main damage. They still get the kills. They take down Jodo. They take down Leo. Blaze has fallen. Gul'dan is doing what he can. He's at 85,000 hero damage, 207,000 siege damage. Again, the attack, but it's not enough, even with the ult from Hanzo. This is the end of not only Anduin, but also Gul'dan, and it should be the end of game number 1. Sigma males, ladies and gentlemen. They are actually pulling this one off. It's insane. 35 kills in game number 1. Hanzo is still able to drop a few of them. Oriel has another resurrect in a second, but this core is low. Hanzo is dead. 5-man team wipe. And this is going to be it. It should be it. They're still playing with the heroes. Oriel resurrects herself, but she needs to attack the core. Get the catapults there. And that's what they do. It takes a little bit longer than initially expected, but it's still a victory in the first map of the best of 3 series here in the losers bracket final for Sigma males. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
So, the crazy run of Sigma males still continues. We have them with a 1-0 in the best of 3 series here at the losers bracket final. It's actually kind of fun because them in the lead and now playing this one out caused also a bit of a discussion in the chat where people were saying that technically Naki Neve is the favorite for the series. Both of the teams are from Division 4. And apparently Division 4 was pretty top-sided, so Naki Neve has been the huge favorite going into this. They might still win the series, but obviously the problem is they're now behind by 1 map and they need to win 2 in a row or they're going to drop out and take 3rd place in all of this. Technically, the team that is in the grand final, the Sloths, should also not be there. And that just shows once again that sometimes you can't just rely on rankings and who the favorite is, but there's a lot of upsets that are going to happen. And currently we have big plays from Sigma males. So Garrosh gets banned. The 10 heroes that were played on the first map are unavailable. So they're gone. And right now the question is just simply, can the red team pull this off once again? A lot of the heroes that they had in game number 1 were obviously crucial for that victory. We're talking about Mal'Ganis that did well for them at the front, then Oriel with all of those revives. So those are all not in the pool anymore. Can't be picked. And you gotta question yourself right now. What are you gonna do with this? I can just imagine that we also see the Sloths in the grand final just watch all of this, furiously scribble on some notepads and analyze past drafts and being like, okay, so Naki Neve might still do this, but let's also make sure that we know what we want to pick as our own heroes against Sigma males to potentially take some of their picks away and push them much, much faster into a bit of a bad spot. And since the grand final is a best of 5 series, if you don't clutch that out with a 3-0 victory, you're going to very quickly end up in a situation where you're running out of heroes that you're familiar with for sure. On this level, it's 100% the thing. So, Garrosh banned, Stitches banned, Chromia's also been eliminated. Infernal Shrines, we get Hogger removed. So, yep, Hogmaster is gone. And that brings us to the first pick. Jojo is out. Diablo can still be played if you want to bully people around on the shrine. But yep, Jojo has already been removed. And she's obviously one of the go-tos. If you're looking side lane, you could still go for the Haka. Blaze also gone, so can't bunker it up anymore. The Prepper has been eliminated. And there's the Dehaka pick. Alright. So, Dehaka is getting ready here. And we got Tigers and Diablo. No hesitation. Just locking that in immediately. Moon Duck on the front is going to try and push for some stuns into the walls. And then Tigers is going to try and respond. I mean, they have some very clear patterns when it comes to their picks. But it's absolutely working for them. And again, I want to remind everybody, this is essentially between like gold and plat. Some are even a little bit lower, but it's just the ability of playing together regularly and being able to execute combos, knowing how others on your team react to certain situations and having proper shot calling. that makes this just heaps and bounds better than what you would experience just queue on that level for solo queue anywhere online. Brightwing and Greymane. Yeah, Greymane is gonna be ready with a bullet for Diablo, and they can start and try to chunk them down. But they still need a main tank. Oh, and Abathar gets banned. I am not so sure if Abathar was ever in the cards here from for Nagini. I don't really think that would have been a problem. It was actually Sigma males that played Abathar in their last series on All Drag Pass. But me personally, just looking at this, I don't think Abathar would have been a thing. Yes, Greymane with Abathar support can be nice, but just playing Greymane Abathar here, I don't see it. Not on Infernal Shrines. But okay, Stukov gets banned. Shouldn't really be an issue here for them one way or another. One day, one of these teams is going to bust out Medivh and down here. I was already very surprised when Sigma males all of a sudden started to play Tracer. And did well with her too. I believe that was Battlefield of Eternity in the previous series. Sonya, more spin to win on the Shrine. And some leap, of course. At least I don't expect Wrath of the Berserker, considering that we haven't seen it a single time in this tournament. It's all about leap, 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 and leap. And Junkrat is also going to leap around a little bit, or at least jump. So, nice pelting from outside onto the Shrine. Get some Shrine minions in. The trap whenever somebody gets stunned, trying to extend that. Bounce people around here. Maybe trap them on the other side of a gate too. They still miss their support, but plenty to pick from in game number 2. And here come our final two picks. We get Mephisto and May. So Greymane and Mephisto. 4 damage. Mephisto, super powerful, has been banned against multiple teams. But he makes it through in the second game. And that leaves us with the final pick. It's Whitemane. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 2, Infernal Shrines. Nakinev on the left. 0 points for them. They need to win 2 games in a row if they want to head into the grand final. If they lose here, they are 3rd place. It is match point. On the left side, Odorox on May. We have Slithery Snack on Greymane, TT on Mephisto, Laser Mehu on Brightwing, and Simba is playing Dehaka. Jacqueline on the right side for Sigma males with Junkrat. We got Lizzie Ryan on Tychus, Moondark on Diablo, Anafas on Sonya, and the Hermit is playing Whitemane in game number 2. Match point for the red team. And on level 1, for Dibbles, we're getting the Soul Shield. So, yeah, the Haka already waiting for the lick. Everybody just waiting this one out. Sonya has already moved towards the top, so the red team should actually not fight 5 versus 5 any longer. And they're playing a little bit closer to their own base, so to their own towers. Not really a big deal for them right now. They're going to be totally fine here. So yeah, everything is a-okay. Now, Anafas at the top escorted that out and is now trying to also slow maybe the Haka down a bit, but down at the bottom of the map, the fights are still raging on, so they're starting to make a few more plays for all of this. Moving in and, of course, trying to get some mercenary camps. We got plenty of those, so everybody is just looking for some mercenary action. We have the red team getting the neutral camp at the bottom of the map, focusing on that first. And they are going to be able to grab this one. Take it, and they might get a kill. They go for May, and she is gone. Even Greymane is in some trouble here. So, yep, that's the second kill. Guys, Sigma males, they do it again. If they get another kill here, it's getting wild. This is quite the series. They're making some massive moves in all of this, and I'm just looking the entire time at the score, at the kills, and I just can't believe it. These guys are on such a tear today. It is absolutely crazy. Now, once again, a quick reminder that this is all being played out in cooperation with HeroesLounge. I've already talked about how you can clearly see a difference from just some random gold and plat or silver players playing in a solo queue and then what's happening here where they actually have coordination going, where they're playing with a familiar team. It's a totally different mindset, and this is exactly what you're getting if you are playing in a more competitive environment. So guys, if you haven't signed up for Heroes Lounge yet, it's free. You can do it from EU, from North America. It's European based, but there are plenty of North American players in there as well. So just check it out. It doesn't matter if you're in bronze, if you just come back to the game, if you have a team or if you're playing solo. You can play in those seasons, and it's a totally different game. You can theorize with people that are like-minded, that want to play a bit more competitive, that want to theory craft. So if you have not signed up yet and checked them out, you should do it. It's tournaments like this that you can participate in. They have their league set up as well. If you have any questions, just go to their website that you can see on the screen. Go to their Discord. They have a very active Discord community that is super helpful. It's a totally different way to play the game, and it's just much better than what you get when you just simply use solo queue. So can heavily, heavily recommend it. First objective is up, and now can Sigma Male claim it? Can they get it? They are starting to slowly burn those minions down, and they're actually getting ahead here. Bouncing Brightwing around a bit too. 16 to 8 currently, so they're still holding in their position on the point, doing the best they can, but the blue team is starting to push in and push them back a little bit. So they are starting to push them back out. Yeah, but they're still fine. Still okay for now. But of course, the next question is then always going to be how much more damage can they do against heroes, and can they get kills? And it's actually, in this case, Whitemane was the first one to fall. Greymane, who also tried for another kill, gets eliminated. Level 7 talents are now in on both sides. And on level 7, we're getting the Feeding Frenzy. Feeding Frenzy for Dehaka. The Arcane Punisher is still being claimed by Sigma Males. So they get the Arcane Punisher, and therefore they get the opportunity to push quickly through that lane in the middle and, well, hopefully for them, do some serious damage there. Take the wall out, maybe some damage on the fort itself. So we'll see what they can do. For now, they are just dropping one tower, and actually that's very little that they were able to get out of this. I mean, with a bit more pressure, they can take out the gate as well, but they are about to lose Whitemane again. The little Hexy here gets absolutely crushed. The Witch is gone. Burn the Witch. And Diablo is also in some trouble, but he at least is able to get out. Even if the cocktail connects here, there was just not enough left to drop him. So, yeah, down here, another battle already happening. Brightwing is now coming in, and they are likely gonna lose Sonya now. Sonya is able, she's not able to get the camp, and she's also about to die. It starts to look better and better for Nagini with every single play that is being made right now. This is honestly what they envisioned here. They defended extremely well in the middle. Afterwards, they got kills on Whitemane. They had at the bottom, Mei stall everyone out so that the camp could not be taken by Sonya. They get a kill on Sonya, and they get the camp. I mean, at this point, honestly, what more do you want? This is about as good as it gets in that position, and it's great for them. This is the attempt at a comeback. They're taking some additional structures out. They're working those down mega quickly. So yes, this is looking really, really good now for the blue team. Well, they're even, but it's looking good in the sense that they're building finally a bit of momentum up, and all that scare in the early game where they started to lose heroes is for now gone. What happens with level 10 dynamics is of course a very different story. There's Leap and the barbecue, but Brightwing to the rescue, and the ult from Mephisto. They are trying to go for a kill on Mei, and they get her. Not quite sure what's going to happen with Diablo, though. It seems like he's trying to use that to his advantage and go for another kill. The leg from the Haka, but they are about to drop him. Whitemane is gone again. She is dying a lot. And here comes Mephisto. He wants the kills, and he gets them on Tychus and on Diablo, which means that they are just now all getting absolutely wrecked. There's some extra damage that has already been done in the middle of the map. But, yep, it's getting wild over here. That choke point was a problem for them. If this was a bigger space, I'm sure that they would have been able to avoid a lot of the damage that Mephisto got out. But since they were trapped there, there wasn't a whole lot that they could do in that situation. So, tough times. Tough times for Sigma Males. Now it's 6 kills to 6. We have, though, the Gambit quest. Yeah, he is losing some of those stacks. So when you go for Gambit quests, you gotta be a little bit careful, of course. And Dehaka has now 2 stacks remaining there. Has gone on level 1, by the way, into the tissue regeneration. Nearly done with that. Objective is up, and we have a 5 versus 5. The teams are roughly on the same level now. We still have the Odin transformation, which could be used at this point. And I suppose we're going to see that sooner rather than later, with the objective now kicking in. But, yep, it's definitely time to party. Punisher number 2 is on the line, and this is a frozen Punisher. This is the big boy, the tough one. Sonya and Brightwing are still on the side lanes. May is already moving in here. The Lick and Diablo, he's not fully stacked, nowhere close. He's at 34 stacks. Survivability is definitely a bit lower than he would want it to be now. So they gotta be careful. And they also have to be even more careful because now we have level 13 for the blue team. And Sigma males don't have that yet. Dehaka though? Oh, that was a gift. Junkrat made a play that could have ended with a kill, but they didn't get it. The blue team is doing well keeping them away from the point. Now, Isolation has missed. Tychus coming in. Leap, and Dehaka gets murdered. Dehaka is gone, and they are trying to retake the position here. Very, very nice kill for Sigma males. And they are about to take position on the shrine again and bring this back. It's 8 against 16 points. Dehaka in 15 seconds. Back to business. Now it's a 4 versus 5. They're trying to get a kill. White Mane is continuously the target here. She needs to be mega careful. Hermit is definitely having some trouble. He gets targeted time and time again. In comes May. They're pulling her around immediately. And some nice damage, but is it going to be enough? The ult from Mephisto comes out, hits 2. And White Mane is low. Sonya's the first one to fall. Dehaka's back to business. They're getting a second kill. And now it's a 5 versus 3. They hope to get more, and Diablo is not looking too good either. Another Tong Connect. Dibble somehow survives through the initial onslaught, but he cannot survive the entire fight. And so that is him gone too. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, that is Nakini with some pretty huge plays now to try and reclaim their position in this best of 3 series. And of course, to try and fight for that grand final slot that they so desperately want. They want that comeback. They want that revenge match against the Sloths, who are currently waiting. And they're gaining momentum on the second map. Infernal Shrines is currently looking pretty decent for them. They've taken the lead in experience, they're ahead in kills, and now they're also going to take some additional structures out. That fort is not even being defended, so there's nothing to be done here. Everybody is just waiting at the keep to bait the Punisher over and defend this a bit safer. But this, of course, also comes with some downsides. They're gonna have some added problems as this plays out. So, tough times for them. One fort gone, and they are trailing, or they will trail, with the talent pretty soon. This is probably the bigger problem for them. Yeah, that talent, that 16 talent is going to make a huge difference. The fort has also been taken, so, or will be taken. Maybe not now, but still soon. They drop it low. Don't have to kill it outright, but by now, 16 on the board, and that's of course a big spike. Dehaka dying again removed another stack from his level 7 talent, so now he only has 1 left. I mean, they're targeting the right heroes here at least, but they couldn't get another kill. They had a 5 versus 4, and they couldn't really do anything with this. That's the problem for Sigma males. Now, once again, the ult against Diablo, and they just burn him down. There's so much damage on those single targets whenever they are in these situations. It helps, of course, that they're running a 5-man against 4 heroes at the bottom of the map. Now, White Mane is dead again. She gets absolutely farmed. White Mane has been dead now 5 times. The fort is gone. Tychus is rushing back out. Mephisto has 50,000 damage. And Greymane is at 41k. So, yes, they are bringing the pain. They are really bringing the pain in this one. Time and time again. Big, big damage from them. And now they're controlling the game more and more. Yes, we have level 16 talents, of course, also for Sigma males. But just looking at this, the structures are slowly falling, getting removed here. And it's just tough for Sigma males to get back into the game here. They need a big team fight and a victory there. So far, all the team fights that we had in the last few minutes have easily gone over to Nakine. And the blue team is obviously exploiting those advantages very nicely. That's the last fort that's still standing. Leap and kill. Yeah. In this case, might not even have been needed, but that is the last stack removed on the Haka. I mean, poor guy did have no chance. Once that he was all in the middle of them, they just burned him down within a second. Not even. He just disappeared. Just pulled the Houdini. One moment he was there, the next one he was just gone. But what can they do with it? They have a numbers advantage. They could try and get the fort in the middle, for example. Sonya's back down at the bottom of the map. He has an opportunity to get extra damage in, but May is ready for defense. Oh, and they're popping Odin very early here. Alright, Odin gets popped. Not sure if that was really the play, because, yep, that's the problem. Shrine is getting activated now. They might get the fort with this, but they're going to miss out on Odin for the actual Shrine fight. And they're not even getting the fort. So, that was a pretty bad ult for Tigers. That was a really bad ult. 76 seconds. They're going to miss out on that now for the Shrine. They should have known that this would spawn. I mean, very, very soon. And now, poof, have fun fighting for that Punisher without being able to use your ult. Especially now that the fort is destroyed. So, the fort's gone. They're going for the camp at the top. But the blue team is already in position. They're already on the Shrine, and now they have to fight this one without Odin. I know I'm repeating myself here, but I'm still a little bit flabbergasted by the fact that they just wasted the ult like this and then didn't even get the fort that they were aiming for. So now they have to try and somehow get killed. Sleep is in. Very nicely done, but he's still able to get out. They have trouble going through May and the Haka. They're both mega tanky. Good damage still. Sonya with very nice moves, and the grenade for Brightwing. Straight to the face, they got a present, and they gave it to him. Brightwing is dead, and so is Mephisto. Naki Neve trying to make the play with a snowball, with the avalanche, but May is dead regardless, and they got the fort too. I mean, what? It really looked like the blue team had this under control, and now Odin is ready. Perfect time to go for the keep wall. And of course they have someone now on the Shrine. It's Sonya trying to get the lead. 31 stacks already for the blue team, and Odin is just still firing away. I still think, even here, I would probably not have gone for Odin and just saved it for the push with the Punisher. But they could have gotten the wall, I think, without it. Either way, the wall is gone, and now they can go for the keep directly. So, Sigma males, they are back. 9 stacks also for level 4 on Tiger's side. I don't necessarily think that they're going to complete it, but they are close enough that it is a possibility. And the keep's just gone. The keep's gone! They might go for the core now. They blow their Haka up. Their Haka just disappeared again. Big ult at least from Mephisto, but still, this is on the core. We are 15 minutes in, and they want this. They absolutely want this. There's the stun. Greymane gets bullied around. The shield is gone. I cannot believe what's happening here. What is going on? They're winning it. Sigma males, they move to the grand final against the Sloths. And Naki Neve takes 3rd place in the tournament. Insanity. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.